Alright, so we pick back up, and the next morning at dawn, as we're all awakened, either naturally or by servants, but regardless, we are definitely all awakened. Being the day after we had a night of um different types of fun, I'm sure. Different people seem to view that differently. As we kind of get our last solitude of peace and serenity before beginning on our next leg of the journey. Capricious is up way early, and as people start to, kind of put themselves together and make their way downstairs, he's already out with maps and barking orders at a handful of people, trying to get um, the wagon train, the caravan, if you will, all ready, prepared, so that people can set out as soon as everyone's ready and collected. Managed to pick my way through a few. We've got a total of 10 cell swords of some sort beyond yourselves. I've got 5 wagons, bristling with supplies. Also have a few support staff, wagon drivers, a couple of those skilled in a little bit of smithing in case we need to fix wagon wheels, horseshoes, whatever may be the case. Strong team of oxen. Riding is going to be difficult in the sloshy jungle that is before us. Intense vegetation, as well as general dampness everywhere. So we'll have to be careful choosing our path. I even brought along a few luxuries just so that we can enjoy our journey. Hopefully, short time it is. So you say you've required, or rather acquired, this item that should shelter us from further setbacks, quite literally.
That's what we're told.
Yeah, I don't know who initially got the package.
Excellent. I think all things are in order. I think our first set of business we should be returned precisely to where we were attacked. We had to be on the right track. There's no other reason for it.
Carr definitely would have been interested in looking over that amulet, um, but probably would have passed it to Bijou.
Are the sellswords here with us? Or are we meeting them somewhere?
They're in the stables, except for him and a couple of the 3 large gentlemen that walked through the door of the first place, which are kind of like his captains. They're all kind of clamoring around as he's kind of confidently giving orders and making preparations.
I might slip out and just go introduce myself to the other sellswords and kind of size them up if I can.
All right. Yeah.
Walk the line with them and give them the patent speech.
You kind of go, slip out to the stables. You can see people loading up the wagons. You can see the obvious people that are there in a more mundane role. Support staff, if you will. And then you can see those standing around. They definitely look tough as far as just general appearances. couple of them, as you kind of look and turn, there's 10 total. If you're going through them, and you see a couple that have very finely crafted armor. It actually looks somewhat heavy. It's got all kinds of intricate pattern work on it. Super buffed and shined. High quality steel weapon. And they hold themselves with a pretty strong air of confidence, maybe even a bit of nobility. You kind of judge the way they stand. You kind of sit there and watch them as they're guarding and looking all for a while. Their attentiveness and just kind of the way they compose themselves. They're not subtle. They're not very good at that. At least these couple that you're taking particular interest in. The way they carry themselves, the way they move, doesn't seem as graceful as their armor might lead you to believe. They move in a way where, any swordsman worth his salt would definitely, take particular precautions in the way that they stand next to things, so that if they ever had to, in a heartbeat, draw a sword and make a strike or the like, to not block certain areas or to keep, things unobstructed. And they just don't seem to be doing any of those gristled veteran things that you've come to notice over time. A couple of others look pretty rough, pretty brutish ruffian type of several of the others. Maybe some local thugs just looking to get some money. And then there's other handful that seem to have at least seen some level of combat in their lifetime, but maybe it was a little bit longer ago.
So you got some guys who are green, some who probably mostly make their living by shaking down others in the city, and some who should be retired, basically.
Seems that way. Yeah, or maybe if not retired,
Okay.
at least, getting long in the tooth. Probably can hold their own, but aren't young and dapper by any means.
Okay, I'm gonna go buy a bottle of rum and then I'll be ready. Just from in the inn.
Some breakfast, bro.
Yep. Well, Lodrin told me that I shouldn't have ale anymore, so.
Life changes.
It's all about those positive affirmations.
Yeah. I've made a change. I followed your advice. Some bread and cheese for breakfast doesn't sound bad.
Oh, yeah, like I'm having actual breakfast.
I'll join you for breakfast.
Yeah, Car would have been up early, but would have helped Capricious if he wanted it. Probably wouldn't, but I'll definitely meet all them for breakfast.
So, since you've agreed to come, he has tried to make it pretty obvious that he's in charge. That's in every bit of his mannerisms. It's like you've agreed to come on his expedition. He often emphasizes things like that.
Yeah, Car's just offering help. I think he's probably picked up on some of that.
Yeah, I mean, and it does seem like he's actually quite good about listening to, if you have input, taking that input, like maybe this or that. And he's actually receptive. It seems like has some quite good leader characteristics in that regard. He's very stern, makes the emphasis that he is in fact in charge, but also isn't so proud that he's 100% on his own. He's actually listens to those under him, even the guy who talks slow and seems a little slow in other ways as well. Still listens to what he has to say, and treats him with respect, even though it doesn't give him any leeway in terms of, who's in charge. That the prep kind of happens, and you can see him start rolling up all of his maps. All right, I think we are ready to go. Everyone's had their bite. We got a couple of days of travel through paradise until the wall, and then we'll see if you're worth the money you're paid.
Which is
We'll find out.
Izzy just shrugs and puts the bottle in her backpack.
Be careful with your pay.
I mean, so far it's a net loss. We all had breakfast.
Yeah, but he's paying for it. It's all in the house, right?
Okay.
I would have definitely stocked up on rations and those little things that are always boring to talk about, but I would have done some of that.
Want to grab some small bottle of spare rum just in case?
I
I
don't
mean,
know. I'm sorry.
We don't need Izzy being sober. Should be grumpy.
I don't know if there's some forms of Camden mosquito repellent or malaria shots or anything like that.
Staying close to Lodrin.
It's an umbrella of protection. Comes with its own faults. The mosquitoes are not one of them.
Oh, you mentioned he had a few other like retainers and stuff. Is this looking like it's gonna be like the gnome army that we met in the desert? Or is it a little more practical than that?
It's definitely pragmatic. So
Okay.
he did bring along a couple of luxuries you might notice. So specifically addressing the mosquitoes and insects and bugs, he has something that is a mesh netting, like a mosquito net. A couple of things that you can see along the way, as well as some first aid. There's a medic. There's a couple of other things that maybe you just wouldn't pack on a wagon for a trip. So it does look like it's a true supply caravan for troop movement in a way, to help support that. It's not all pillows and just fluff.
Yeah, it wasn't. It's not like the first incursion, which I imagine was like dink 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 dink. This is number 4. It's time to get real.
And so we'll have 2 days of journey ahead of us till we get to the wall. It should be easy going, so you can entertain yourselves as you wish. But once we cross the wall, all eyes must be everywhere.
Got it.
We slipped their grasp once. I wouldn't be half surprised to see them somewhere lying in wait. If they were willing to work together, they may have gathered others. We'll try our best not to take the most direct route. But outside of the wall, there is an open path that is only lightly wooded, and from there, there's nearly no other way around. So there's at least that stretch. I would expect resistance. So, we'll see what you're made of.
Rock.
I see.
Mostly granite.
Hopefully not entirely between the ears. We shall see.
I just picture Steen as like the thing.
Yeah, just prettier.
Yeah.
Little trimmed down, little leaner.
Smoother. Yeah.
And
Not as
maybe-
strong.
Maybe not quite as rock.
No.
Alright, so we head that way. We're basically going to doodly doop across the 2 days to the wall, unless there's something anybody would like to specifically take care of across that time frame.
Nothing specific. I might play some games with Bijou and offer to teach her to play Doc style.
She would happily take you up on anything.
She's basically teaching you how to cheat.
She'd be okay with that.
Okay. We do that then.
But she does it with you not necessarily to actually use the skill you're teaching her, but because you want to do something with her and she likes her friends.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go across 2 days of travel in what really is, even across the middle of this particular place, even traversing the middle of the country, it's still rather mild here. You kind of expected once you got away from the water for it to start getting worse as you went inland, but not yet. It's pretty enjoyable. You see some places along the road where there's some people that live specifically, but you also see some like secluded places that have been built out specifically for tourists or such that would like that kind of secluded getaway. Almost like very nice little resorts or hotels that are just sprinkled out along the trip this way. Crossing through the main road, you can see that it's mostly that thin palm as well as some pretty tall grass across the landscape itself. And traveling across the road seems quite well, although Capricious is unhappy with the progress of the first day. So in the beginning of the second day, he tries to rouse everyone a little bit earlier and say that at this point saying we need to reach the gate before night falls or we'll be even yet delayed. The gate does not open at night for no reason whatsoever. So if we don't reach it by dusk, we'll have to wait until the next morning. That's another half day lost to us. Kind of pushes everyone forward. I'd like everyone to roll a D100 for the day.
We're all traveling in carts, right? Basically.
Yep, for the most part.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, way better than
So-
walking through the desert.
Yeah. So I guess Izzy doesn't have a lot of control over how fast we're going, but she would make sure that she gets all her shit together as quickly as possible.
Whoever rolled a D100.
So right click the 10 and go to percent.
Hey! There we go. There we go. 30.
Could be worse.
Dust starts to set at the end of the second day, and you can see Capricious cursing a little under his breath as you can see a towering wall off in the distance. Perhaps another hour or so wagon ride away. But even at this distance, it dominates the horizon as far as you can see to the south. And off to the stretches for even further off, is further off to the south and even off to the north towards the actual coast, which at this point you can just see the edge of the coast off to the north. It looks like we didn't quite make it. Maybe an hour short. It's alright, we get one more night in paradise, but we'll have to be prepared to leave in the morning. So as you arrive, you see almost iconically like the gates of Jurassic Park, this huge double door set of gates with massive iron studs and huge logs that are in place that have these mechanisms that move the logs out of like almost like a bar on a door, like a barred door, with these giant crane mechanisms that pick each bar off one at a time. And just after you arrive, you can see that the last bar is being placed. No further traffic will cross this night, and they'll remove the bars in the morning.
Probably better that we spend the night on this side anyway. Get a fresh start in the morning when it's light out.
He was hoping to slip through the pass maybe in the night, one way where there's actual road before you hit the jungle. And once you hit the jungle, maybe then get some rest. Passing through the open plains, a little bit of open plain there is in the daylight, could be risky. I'm sure they've got eyes on the gate, though. So I'm not sure they would have been much better than what we've got before us anyway. So might as well have our advantages as well. Another night transpires, and wake up the next day to the loud sound of the cranes lifting these giant logs, like not quite the size of redwoods, but huge trees along those lines. So not just a regular big oak tree or whatever, huge trees. Pulling the logs off of this giant gate. You hear some cogwheels turning as pulleys open the gate, swinging inward, and you make your way. Even just the opening of the door, you just feel a blast of this humidity from the other side. There's a big open area just outside of the gate, and it stretches for a handful of miles, surrounded by dense jungle forest. Capricious takes the head of the caravan, still somewhat upbeat. All right, we go forward for conquest, for glory, for money. All of the reasons you may hold personally, but what we do for good. Maybe not good, as some would define it, but for balance.
Balance is good.
And kind of leads the front of the caravan forward, off along the wagon path. We have several miles to travel today. It should be easygoing, at least across terrain. But keep your eyes peeled. Dangers lurk beyond the wood lines. Once we hit the jungle, the going will be slow, and we will be corralled on every edge by trees, by vegetation alike, and we'll have to fight for every inch. Maybe not with sword, but maybe with axe. So enjoy the good going while it's available to us, and may we go unhindered. And we head off. We head off past the wall. You hear as the caravan makes its way through, the large gate closes, but you don't hear the bars being put back in place.
Izzy's gonna find a spot that's fairly high up on one of the wagons, like just sitting on some boxes or something maybe,
Mm-hmm.
and just making sure to keep an eye out.
Alright, so we're going to do a series of group perception checks, kind of like a skill check as well. Are we going to make any precautions other than trying to, obviously just be out visually looking in every direction, trying to scope in that regard?
How fast are the wagons moving? Like, can I run ahead at all?
Oh yeah. The oxen pulling the cart, especially, it wouldn't be like a slow walk by any means. They can actually make pretty decent pace, but it's definitely not as fast as a person can run. Someone who is even super brisk walking could probably outrun the caravan.
Okay.
I cast guidance if I see you start to run off.
Yeah. I'll take out my rod of alertness
Ooh, okay. Mm-hmm.
and offer to scout ahead of the wagon a little bit, where I would be probably easier to hide than oxen's pulling wagons.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna try to stay along the path? Are you gonna try to so it's mostly open plains, and there's a pretty worn path that kind of goes outside of the gate for a little while. You can see that it does kind of start to end. It also looks like part of the reason why there are plains here and why there's even a path at all is it looks like a lot of the stuff that's gone on here is because of deforestation. People are coming in and cutting back a good bit of the untamed jungle that lies on either end, either to bring wood in for use in Camden, or maybe it's defensive purposes for visibility. Not entirely sure, but there's kind of like this triangle wedge.
So if it's not too far to the trees, I would probably move in a little bit just to get some cover, make it harder to spot me.
It's to say
but
there's probably at least right out of the gate, maybe half a mile north and south to the tree line, and then that it definitely triangulates towards the path the further you go.
okay, so once it starts to close in a little bit, I imagine that closer to the gate, it's easier for us to keep watch because it would take them a long time to get to us anyway.
Mhm.
And then once the trees start to kind of close in a little bit, I'll start offering to scout ahead there.
Okay, sure. Why don't I get the perception checks across the group?
Oh,
Bijou is busy just chatting away, telling all kinds of stories. She's not really paying attention.
She's being a social butterfly.
You know, getting to know the crew, who's doing what.
I haven't used this rod in a while. Let me just double check.
I might get advantage on perception. Is it advantage on
Yes.
perception?
Yeah, advantage on perception. So I'll just roll one more, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah, first one's better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So kind of scoping through for a good part of the morning, keep an eye out. You don't see any disturbances in the trees, no flutter. You see a lot of natural birds coming and going along the tree lines, even as far away as they are. And trying to keep an eye out, and you hold some level of confidence that sometimes an occasional wildlife, caught on the edge, deer maybe, or wild boar in a particular case. Seeing some of these things gives you some indication that you're relatively free from company for the time being. Okay, let's do one more across the board.
One more.
As we get further in, I'm going to activate the
I win.
detect evil and good as well.
Okay.
Yes, I've been kind of trying to keep an eye on Izzy. My perception's been a little off.
Every now and then we see like a flock of birds take off from the sky, veer off to some other trees and land again. Potential that, at least to the birds, there exists maybe some kind of predator, maybe a large cat, something out there that's causing them to rustle from one place to another. But no signs of any sentient life. And then let's do our last one, as now the trees start to become narrowed in towards the road itself here at the end of our journey. Not the end of the journey, but end of the open path.
We win! Yay!
We got him, coach. Okay, so we got a couple pretty good stuff going on here. So one thing we do notice, again, is as you kind of come through, you definitely get a lot of pockets of the actual either the birds moving or relocating. You haven't seen any of the other wildlife, although you start to hear a lot of the wildlife sounds. As you kind of made your way towards the woods itself, you've got a lot of that humidity coming through, the heat, the things that you'd kind of expected as you made it west across the land that you'd kind of run into. Now on this side of the wall, even with light walking, your shirt gets damp, sticky, just because of the sheer amount of humidity and heat. Insects start to swarm pretty heavily, and you hear their buzzing come through.
My hair just grows bigger and bigger.
Lodrin's going to look more and more at peace as the closer that they get to the jungle and then into the jungle.
One with the jungle.
Yeah, in my head, I always kind of picture Lodrin as being a little tense. So maybe this is one of the first times seeing him a little laid back.
Yes.
I've never seen a jungle before, so I'm like, ooh.
If I start hearing intense sounds of wildlife, bugs, birds.
It's probably going to be a little bit of a cacophony around Lodrin with the insects more so than everybody else. It's like maybe if there's either sort of flies or any kind of thing like that, like they would be attracted to him, and then the larger insects that would eat those insects would be attracted because those insects are there. So it's just like a
Feeding
not
frenzy.
like the demon level of stuff that we saw.
Oh man,
But
this
you
smells
know,
like a
there's
picture
some
plan.
action.
Is that your stomach, Lodrin? Just skip breakfast.
You see, you hear a very deep growl from the woods as they start to become an impending area that must be passed, and immediately birds, they take off, scatter in a whole bunch of directions as you hear the trees jostle from one side to the other.
Izzy draws her sword.
I keep holding my shield.
see Capricious hold up his hand, the front of the train. Stay on alert, but be wary that not all things dangerous are necessarily the enemy. It would be silly for us not to think that the cycle of life does not continue out here in these woods, even though we wish it not to. There are predators, but our show of force should prevent them from coming close to the train. Do not provoke them. Look out for the sentient life.
Can I talk to any of the birds?
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk to one of the birds.
Okay, so you have the ability to actually talk with animals, so you at least on a maybe not fluid conversationally speaking, but on a base understanding with one another.
I asked them what they've seen today.
So a little bird kind of comes over to you as you draw it close to you, and you talk to it, and it's moves its head around quizzically, like what like it understands in a way what you're saying, and then it does attempt to try to communicate back. And then you could see that it like hunkers down a little, and then it poofs up its feathers real big and tries to like suck air into itself, like it's real big and poofy. And then it goes down, slinking down, as it kind of like waddles back and forth, and then poofs itself out real big, puffed up, all of its feathers just bristling out straight out. And then it chirps. It's a very low kind of sounding chirp for a bird. And then puffs it up real big again. And then hops around a whole bunch of times in a circle. And then flies away.
So I didn't really talk at all.
So it can understand your words. You just can't necessarily understand what it says in return. So I have to kind of interpret it. It understood what you said. And tried to answer it the best way it could. At least, at least that's what the trait that you linked says, unless you have something else that I forgot about.
Oh, that was one of my traits.
I speak with small beasts.
Oh. Oh, that wasn't you that linked it, that was Loner that linked it. Oh, I see.
I did enjoy your bird mine, or your bird mining.
It was good.
The student has become the master. She can do things Lodrin cannot.
I think that's one of my gnome abilities. I just don't use it.
We haven't been a lot of places with little birds and things recently.
Yeah, I was saying I have talked to birds before.
Not a lot of critters in the Badlands.
Oh, that's why Because you actually have a spell, Speak with Animals. You can cast at will as part of your critter friend feat. Not so the Speak with Small Beasts actually works in a similar way. You can use sounds and gestures. You can communicate simple ideas. You can't communicate, right? But your actual critter friend feat gives you the spell Speak with Animals. That if you cast the spell, you can actually talk.
Yeah. But it doesn't take a spell slot.
No, but you can cast it at will. Yep. Makes a cantrip in a way. Yeah. So you okay. So we'll kind of retcon that. You still makes those same actions, but you actually understand the little chirping that it makes as it's trying to do so, and the whole way that it communicates both visually and through auditory means. Essentially, it says there's big cat that is essentially strutting its stuff, scaring away all the birds, making them fly around.
Logian's gonna just show a sign of appreciation. He's gonna hold out the palm of his hand. We've got some grub worms he had tucked away. Offer it
his
to the
beard.
bird. In his beard.
And I make sure I thank the animal and call it by name. Whatever kind of bird it is.
Worm. Worm. Worm.
And I tell it can still close to us so the big cat doesn't get it.
Big cat doesn't like big things. So many big things.
Nor should he, but he has nothing to fear from us. And at that, he's going to kind of eyeball it. Izzy still got her sword kind of brandished or ready.
She's just after what Capricia said, she's just kind of got it out defensively looking. But she's not putting it away.
You hear the growl of the large cat as you come along the tree line. And then a little bit later, you hear the large cat still out there, but maybe a little further away than it was. As you enter the actual jungle itself. There's a mild bit of a path where some people have kind of entered this part of the jungle here, but you can see that it's even the path itself is twisty, turny around some big trees. And Capricious kind of leads us off in a particular direction and says, okay, from here, let us head west. It's going to be slow going for a bit till we can find us an open area. He's going to pick a couple of his people to kind of scout ahead a little to try to find a path. A couple of the more grizzled, older, veteran gentlemen are going to don some cloaks that blend well with the jungle surroundings and disappear off ahead to help find a future pathway as they enter the jungle itself.
Are they just mundane cloaks, like camo cloaks?
Yeah, they don't look like all special, like stealthy
Ghillie
clothes.
suits?
Yeah. They don't look to magically surround them. They're just real decent. They're real decent, well-made camo cloaks.
Mossy Oak brand.
He said decent camo.
Izzy's gonna concentrate just for a couple seconds and form her sword into almost more of a machete as we get into the thicker foliage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can already see that there are some of the laborers already hop off carts and move to the front, axes and machetes in hand as they're cutting away small brush. They're still able to zigzag around some of the trees at this point, but you can see that there are places where if they kind of start off a little on the wrong path, they'll have to cut down trees and the like to get the wagons over. So you can see they're at the front being very careful about what way they zig and zag, because they're big carts, so they don't just corner on a dime anyway. And just trying to make their way through, cutting and clearing a bunch of the brush. And it's already slow going in the labor. You can see they have to kind of rotate around because the labor takes a quick toll in the heat and humidity to try to keep steady forward progress.
Capricious, this is such a waste.
And what do you mean, old friend?
There's no sense in these carts. We should all be afoot. We can thrive in this land. We don't need to bring things here. We're needlessly wasting time and your people's troubling over all this wanton destruction of nature.
But how would we bring supplies to such a depth of place? How could we guarantee that we have sources of water, food?
Look around you.
Yes, I see that there's quite a bit of vegetation and the like. But I find that, particularly in the jungle, most of the water is stagnant, ridden with disease. The berries, it's hard to tell, poisonous or not. Even game can be cumbersome. What if we need the medical supplies? The tents, a place to sleep. Surely we couldn't carry it all on our backs.
I suppose this will be a allowance I will have to make for your people that have come to help, soft as they seem.
I do
One
not
could walk
disagree.
through these lands forever and have everything provided for them.
I do not disagree that this pace is annoying at best. If we could somehow be confident in moving forward in the way you prescribe, if you truly think it the better route to take, to provide for ourselves in all manners we might need. This is more akin to your land. If you could lead that endeavor, I would support it. If you truly think we can do it.
Lodrin is going to kind of turn and regard the rest of the group. Kind of weighing them.
Izzy's out in front trying to help with her machete. I don't think she heard most of that.
I think I agree with Lodrin. I believe we could move through this land much smoother than trying to wagon our way through it.
I definitely agree. I just haven't been able to work out the logistics. Dealt mostly with troops and people that couldn't take care of themselves. Not in this regard, anyway.
Be inspired by our friend the cat that's slinking nearby still. Look how smooth and quick he moves throughout the forest. Does he trouble himself with bandages and pack horses and fear of where he will find water?
I suppose even he must drink. Surely there is water pure enough to do so. If only we have the minds to find it.
Then have your helpers tuck their blades away and let's continue on.
You see, kind of... it's like pulling himself out of his comfort zone a little. Alright, very well. Let's at least get this stuff turned around. Clear past that the carts can make way. Don't know that we would want to deal with all of the support staff, the wagon riders and the like, to just sitting around, so we might as well get them back to safety on the other side of the wall. And with it, the bulk of the extra supplies. So let's strip down, take what we can carry that we might actually need, and see it done. He starts directing the individual workers to, clear this little path so that the wagons can circle back around. Alright, back across the wall with a lot of you.
We're keeping the mosquito nets though, right?
If we can carry some. All that we can carry. You can see that Capricious kind of raises a hand and just touches the side of Lodrin's leg. Thank you for your advice, friend.
Izzy pulls out her haversack and starts putting mosquito nets in it.
Oh yeah. He was well prepared. And you see, saddened to see a good bit of all that preparation, both time, effort, energy, money, and more importantly, just the stuff going away. Alright then. Let us carry on foot. Might have to still make some trekking through the vegetation to even make the footpath. But it won't be nearly as cumbersome as bringing these carts through. Send them on back.
So, I was going to say, after Lodrin's going to take up the lead and just kind of have Capricious follow next to him, kind of talking about the directions.
I think our path is still the same, even if the journey is different.
Now the orcs won't see us coming from 5 miles away.
Ah, point taken. Even better yet. Here's hacking away through the jungle as it is.
Here I am fucking getting caught in bramble. Fighting with the jungle.
I would like everyone to roll a survival check. And Logan, I'd like you to do yours with advantage.
Yeah, look at that. That's right, easy.
You have a +4.
I'm Crocodile Dundee.
Not particularly your area of survival expertise, but you definitely know how to stay alive in the wilderness.
Don't
Just a
touch
different,
the things
entirely-
that like poison.
Entirely different wilderness. Okay, yes. So we make our way quite well, and it's actually, we have rations and some water and the like. We definitely run across several sources of those things on our way through, as well as finding a suitable path that doesn't take us into, the extreme muck, or rather, also minimizes some of the damage necessary to make a pathway through the vegetation itself. We should do pretty well on our. What do we got here?
I saw loading straight.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about the Wanderer. Yes, that's excellent. And so we did trim down to, 10 mercs, Capricious, and the 6 of you. There's 7 that we're down to. He sent all his support staff and everything else, all packing in return. So whatever we have on our backs. And yeah, we can find all kinds of goodies. Pockets of fresh water, so stagnant pools are something we can obviously avoid, but you point out different ways in which water collects. Everything from in special leaves, that even almost work like little cups on the tree, to actual running bits of water, the whole deal. So trudge our way through. And we make a much quicker pace. Actually, really good progress across the set of the next 2 days. Middle of the 3rd day of actually being in the jungle, I need us to roll perception checks.
Apparently, I need glasses, guys.
Just so happy to be back with your dad, you can't focus on anything else.
And one from Steen for perception. So one thing that became pretty clear about an hour ago, we started finding a cleared out section of space that actually looks like a semi-worn path that travels nearly due east and west. Capricious does say that this is the exact path that they had come down before, so it could very well be that. But particularly to Lodrin, and you notice that that these wearings along the forest isn't from 1 or 2 trucks across. This is a fairly well-worn area throughout the little middle of the forest. This has to have at least a reasonable amount of foot traffic over a period of time to cause this well-worn of a path.
Izzy would point out that his memories may be from somewhere around 20 years ago as well.
Yes. So that's going to be difficult to know. Because we're not sure when the time dilation took place.
Mm-hmm.
And so we come across this actually well-worn path. And again, you hear one of those growls. Almost mid-growl. Utter silence. The birds poof off again, as they have several times in the past. The large cats and other predators in the woods. And the insects. Everything. Silence.
There's some unnatural power here.
A heartbeat passes. Everyone scans the forest line. Everyone kind of comes to a halt to try to find the source of whatever caused the unnatural silence.
I'm gonna try and hide myself in some shrub or something nearby.
You slink away. Go ahead and roll a hide check.
a nice
That's
picture.
a 10. So that's actually a 19.
Oh yeah. Ooh. It's gonna be fun. The reliable talent thing is just so cool to me. I love it. Quiet happens. You just kind of scan through. You duck away, hide yourself kind of off into a bush. A slight rustling sound from off to the south. A track of motion cuts across your vision as a dart, chink, right in the neck of one of the mercenaries, who collapses unconscious.
Can I see where it came from?
From the woods off to the south. I need everyone to roll initiative. And Bob joined us in perfect time just for battle.
Yep.
Dun dun dun.
Ernest, I need you to roll initiative. Okay. 1 second here. I should have done this first.
Yeah, that was from last time.
So you see Capricious, quick to react, begins barking orders. Alright, men, to the south. Something's in the tree line. Flush it out. Take it head on. As it begins directing the mercenaries south into the brush. They all seem uplifted, and they all take off, actually into the woods off to the south. As soon as they do, darts. Toot, toot, toot. 3 darts. Each hit a mercenary who falls immediately unconscious. And you see one of the mercenaries run by a tree, and just out from behind the tree, a large cleaver-like sword just cuts, not quite in half, but cuts right out from the edge, opening up the mercenary all the way across the belly, who just falls over. One second. Easy to be up front, and you're able to see where some of those shots fired from. So, behind the tree, a large sword right here. I got the death ward. And then you see these 3 are the ones that shot the darts. And the one had the large sword, as these hulking orcs, stealthy in the trees, made their shots. And you're up first.
I just see the 4 of them.
That's what you see, yeah.
Okay.
Very surprisingly so, these large orcs, until they moved to make the fire, you didn't see any of them. They were super well hidden in their little bushes and cove. They were kind of tucked away into. You can see that they're painted in a way that's almost like Navy SEALs, like they are in full face camo, and they have not exactly ghillie suits, but they have bits of leaves and jungle vegetation strapped onto themselves.
So I'm a bit far away, so I'm gonna start running towards a closer bush, and while I run past, I'm gonna be like, 4 over there. Just quick description: orcs, big orcs. And then I'm gonna dive into this bush and try and hide myself again.
Okay.
So that's a dash. So
Okay, sure. And then you're going to use your hide as either your bonus or actual, whichever order you do all that.
Yep.
Okay,
But
excellent.
again, that's a 10, so that's a 19.
Oh, yes, awesome. You're going to be hard to find. You don't want to be found. It's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
From the jungle off to the north, you hear a quick incantation. And a slightly glowing, rugged-looking spear appears in the space next to Lodred. As another camoed orc appears from the brushes, this time to the north. The weapon, in the shape of a spear, lashes out at Lodred. And then the orc itself leaps out of the bushes, nearly flying the distance straight to Lodred, landing right in front of his feet, and tries to stab at him with a spear of his own. Wow.
Can I use a reaction to that?
You may.
So he's going to stab at Lodrin, and the spear kind of like pierces at his shoulder. And right where that wound's at, this green mist is going to start kind of pouring out of him. It just has this tiny little puff of almost like a fog or a smoke that just shoots right towards the orc right in his face.
Okay, yes. He's gonna get sprayed by the spores.
Yeah, he does.
Spore spray. Eat him. Didn't that upgrade? Was it only supposed to be 6? I thought it up. Well, for some reason, I thought it got better.
9th level. I think, let me look. Yeah. Yeah, it should be 9th. My bad. Switch that up a minute.
Oh, yep, nope, we're good now. Oh yeah, because it just does a set amount of damage. It's not a roll or anything. It just went up, so it went up to 9. Yep, so straight 9 to the face. So one very noticeable thing about this particular orc as it comes out is it has a missing eye, and it looks like it's made no attempt to actually like cover it with a patch or anything like that, and it looks like it was, I mean, for lack of better imagery, like it was dug out with a big spoon. Like it's gnarly looking out of its eye socket, and a lot of the meat, and even the cracked bone where it was like ripped out forcibly. Another interesting note is that his other eye glows a golden color. And let me I adjust the hit points automatically for him, and then
I don't like that, sir. Let's not do that.
the orc begins casting a spell.
Can I counterspell?
What's the range on the counterspell? 60 feet? Is it 60 feet?
Yep.
You may. He's beginning to cast silence. And if you so choose, you could in fact counterspell that.
Yes.
Okay. You use your reaction, cast counterspell, and his spell has no effect. And with that, you can see that he lets off a very loud, roaring growl in defiance. Another orc from the north bursts out of the trees, nearly flying through the air. It wields a wicked scimitar that it swings at Lumo. Missing both times. Another one from the south bursts out. Dives into the brush where it saw Izzy jump into earlier. And it starts slashing around wildly, trying to locate her. Unable to. A big hulking orc bursts out of the brush near Steen, swinging a giant great axe.
Why, hello.
And actually hitting you. I can't believe it actually hit you.
Dick move.
I think you have a 24 AC right now, don't you?
20. 22.
Because you got the +2 necklace on and...
Oh shit, yeah, the necklace.
I don't know if you ever went in and made the adjustment on your bonus AC to be that for that extra 2.
Nope.
I mean, so you're still at 24, so it's exactly a hit. But,
Yeah. Completely forgot about the necklace.
Luma's...
I mean, you say I have a necklace. I don't have one in my inventory.
So we just gave it to you. Is it still in the party sheet?
Yeah, I just never. No?
Is it baby? Well, it's amulet. Is probably what it says. Not.
Nope.
Where'd it go?
The amulet, Charlie. The amulet.
This dude in front of me, how beefy is he? How thick? Does he look like a meaty character, or does he look like a sort of a dexterous or castery type of person?
I mean, even the orc that casts a spell, they're all big hulking orcs.
Okay.
They move rather quick though through the, bursting out of the trees. Their eyes pretty much red with pure aggression. They move a lot faster than you'd expect big hulking meaty people to do.
These trees, or are these shrubs or trees?
That's more shrubbery. It becomes more trees when you kind of get behind that.
All right, I want to, with my second attack, kind of leap off the dude's shoulder and kick him on the way, jumping over to this.
Okay. Springboard off of him.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I want to scamper up this tree as much as I can.
Oh yeah, you can make your way up pretty quickly, actually, relatively easily.
Okay. In that case, or what do I see anything else north of me from my new vantage point?
Go ahead and roll another perception check. Knowing that there were things up here, kind of trying to see what kind of going on. There's nothing in any of the open patches you can see around you. Not sure if that means that there's nothing still hidden or not.
Right. In that case, I'm gonna chuck my spear at the dude. Actually, no, I can only do unarmored attacks as bonus. Okay, no, I'm good.
Would you technically getting? Oh, you did both. Okay, yeah, you did too. Never mind.
Okay, no, as I jump from the dude's shoulder to the tree, my cloak is going to billow dramatically. That's my bonus action.
Kind of like in the Dark Knight, how the cloak, like got stiff so that it could glide a little.
Yeah, a little
And
bit.
then just a little, and then as it lands, it flutters around.
As it lands, it kind of wraps me around almost like a blanket, being really concealed. I can then. Okay, yeah.
This orc just runs right by you, in and out of range, kind of flaying a little as it goes through, potentially provoking an attack of opportunity.
Oh yes, we're going to do that.
Excellent.
And I'm hidden, so I get
Oh
advantage.
yeah, you do.
I believe the orc has underestimated the element of surprise.
Building this giant great axe, and it kind of like swipes it through in the area right next to its friend.
What the jive?
Hello?
Looking for me, darling. I say in Elvish, just because I
No,
know it'll
he's
really
not,
piss him off.
because he's dead. Instantly. He has no idea what happened.
It's
Yeah.
he swiped off to his left in between him and where his buddy was, thinking that the buddy just missed you. That's kind of where you went. And as he was kind of almost, still pelvis and legs facing towards the group as he was running forward, and his upper torso was turned away, you just zoom right in the spot, like through a kidney into the spine, pull it right out. As he's just like, boom, and then just crash and slides across the ground, leaving a almost comic like rut as his body tumbles through the last bit of vegetation before falling dead.
Well, riddle me this. I guess. Wait, I have extra attack now, right? Yeah, it's talking attack.
You have
attack.
you have extra attack times 2, so you're going to get you can have 3 melee attacks essentially, or cantrip plus melee attack.
Yep. So, True Strike, followed by a Shield Punch. Oh wait, whoops. Wait, what? Why is that damage? That was.
That was a attack roll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Follow damage. Yeah. And then the cloak billows and exits. And then an epic miss.
Wow.
How
I was
close are you?
distracted by the cloak.
Okay, no, I can't help you with that.
No, it's your fault. I missed. I mean,
He's 30 feet away.
you
I
helped him
believe so.
with that.
You still get 3 attacks. Remember?
I did. I used my cantrip,
Oh,
And then and then I attacked because I used cantrip.
Okay. Yep. No, you're right. Yeah, the true strike. I get things.
Even though advantage for me is not that good because I'm not going to do very much. Anyway, yeah, what a waste.
Can you see the names of these enemies?
Orc
It says, like the one that's right in front of Lodrin. Can you see its name?
Yeah,
Orcai of
Brunch.
Brunch.
So you can't actually see their names. Okay. The ID tags are on everything now, and so I don't know what's actually ID'd or not. It's kind of hard to tell. This guy, so you're scrambled up the top of the tree. This dude with a giant great axe is just going to come over and swing it like it's a giant hatchet and try to chop the tree down. I need you to roll an athletics check to hold on. Limbo.
Athletics.
Oh, yeah. You gotta get that show me the finger strength. Show me potato salad.
He is strong as he is tall.
Swings the giant great axe. Boom! Hits the base of the tree. Sends a reverberation up at the top. And the top of the tree sways. Whoa! Side to side, kind of back and forth a little as you kind of hold on. And as it dips off to one side, your finger strength gives, and you start to fall. But I don't think that it's high enough that because of your slow fall that you take any damage as you land on the ground.
I just have to use a reaction to do that. So I'll do that.
If you so choose. Yep. Okay. Use your reaction to land. So instead of falling prone or taking damage from the fall, you actually land on your feet by using your reaction. Excellent. Hero landing.
It's bad for your knees, man.
This off to the south, you see another orc come out of the brush, take off. This time charging straight at Izzy. as it does, it lets out a battle cry in Orcish. Does anybody actually speak Orcish? That's a good question to ask.
I do not.
Do I understand? No, I don't understand everything yet. Okay.
Letting off its battle cry. Swings its great axe at Izzy, missing. Swings again, missing horribly. And then, as a result of its battle cry, it gets a third attack. This one landing. Chomp. Slams into the side of you with its axe. Could have been much worse.
Mm-hmm. She laughs at him.
And yet another orc bursts out. This one, much smaller, but also as it gets closer, some of like how Lodrin's got these spores and things that have started to grow naturally on him. This orc has some weird bulbous pus-filled things from under its skin that, as it kind of moves over, you can see like even a couple of them like let off a little ooze out of it as he jostles as he makes his way down. It's like corruption itself is leaking out of its the pores of his body.
Remember my teen years too.
Poor Izzy. Those wouldn't hit me. I'd help you if I could.
I'm still okay.
And Kara's up.
Okay. I think with 5 feet, I can get Orc War Chief 22 in that, but not Izzy. That's my positioning goal. And from my ring, not the sword, but from the ring, I will cast Lightning Bolt.
Ooh, okay, yes.
I will also use my Channel Divinity to do it at max damage.
Ooh.
So let's do the save first.
Your goal is to hit those two in that the main path, right? Or we're trying to get.
Let me draw my path. I'm trying to make sure the orc hand was in it.
I think you can. I think you've actually gone just a hair too far.
That was my line. Would hit the orc hand, would hit the orc blade, and that one guy's within 5 feet.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. Because you don't have to actually. It doesn't have to cross his square. It has to be with it. It's a 5. It's not a line. It's a 5 foot wide line. So yeah. You're right. You're right.
Okay. So at max damage, it's 8d6. 48 for the orc blade,
48.
and the orc hand, and 24 for the war chief. and I don't have a way to deal max damage with this. So
The orc hand dies. The orc blade gets roasted but does not die. And the chief takes 24. And you can see that he doesn't just like shrug off the damage like no big deal, but as it kind of leaves a large charring burn mark on his side, it just seems to embolden him. Like the pain makes him enjoy it. Okay, I've applied those.
Logion's gonna just kind of almost have a growl in aggravation. He's gonna swat at the spear that was summoned in front of him, just kind of as a backhanded deflection with his staff, and then he's going to concentrate and use one of his wild shape charges to embolden all the spores that infest him.
Yes.
Symbiotic entity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that gives you a bunch of temporary hit points and some other, a bunch of cool stuff, bonuses to your damage on that spore ability, and
then he's going to take just a few steps and try to get in a defensive stance right in front of Bijou.
okay. Right, one of those did die. Yes, I removed it. You can hear Capricious yell out, "It looks like many of the clans have formed together. This isn't a random encounter. They have been waiting for us."
All right, I pull Alfred my hand cone to my mouth so that I get +2,
Mm-hmm.
and I cast Guiding Bolt at this guy.
Ooh, excellent. Also puts the next attack against him has advantage or whatever. On that same guy.
Yeah, but for the end of my next turn.
Does it have an effect we can drag over? In addition to the damage?
Yes, I think so.
Here. Charging through another one of those corruption field orcs that has pus and everything else just oozing out of multiple orifices on its body. Charges across to attack Steen. you can see this orc take off charging towards Carr, and as it does, it seems to build speed. Its eyes glowing red, nostrils flared. When it breathes heavily out of his nose, even like little bits of smoke or fog kind of come out of it. Literally builds up steam, ramming into Carr with its giant great axe. Missing. Another orc with a completely dug out missing eye socket stands on the edge of the brush and begins casting a spell. Another large glowing spear comes into existence right next to Carr. Moving with supernatural speed, it charges across the battlefield, sliding underneath the spear that it created, coming to the other side, upright, jamming its own spear up also at Carr. And then I already used that to kill a mercenary, not there. This one wields the wicked scimitar that sliced open the mercenary, nearly cleaving it in half. Swings it at Izzy, who missed it both times. Right, Limo. Top of the round.
Is Duder beside me in range? Or he's wielding a
Great axe.
can't remember if that has reach or not.
It's a big axe, but not much for the way, especially the way he's wielding it. One hand's kind of close to the top, one hand's kind of close to the bottom. It's in a chopping kind of
Okay.
stance that he's in right now.
In that case, I'm going to book it set. I'm away. I'm gonna punch this dude.
Okay. Square right in the buttocks.
Oh no, we're going underneath.
Taco Bell! Trying to ring the bell. Interesting. Oh, he rolled really well.
Okay, on my way to this guy now.
Okay. Is this the pus filled, nasty looking? Yeah, is that the one you're coming up on?
Yeah. Literally the end of my running. Oh, sweet.
There you go.
Nice.
And
You hit and it's squishy. Ugh.
Gross.
It's stuff on your hands and it's like it immediately starts to burn on your hand.
so this is acid, not poisony.
It doesn't actually start eating through anything, but it is poison.
Okay, cool. Don't care. Punch him again. Actually, I'm gonna stun him, or at least attempt.
Okay. He is stunned.
Since I can't move anymore. If since he's stunned, would he be in impose disadvantage on a ranged attack? I guess I have to apply the effect of stun.
Do what now? Sorry.
If I went for a ranged attack, would he imply, or would he give me disadvantage? Now that he's stunned.
No, because he's not threatening you anymore. No, I definitely don't think that's the case. I think it's only if you're threatened in melee range.
Alright, how are these guys looking? Can you give me a quick of the other three, who's looking particularly injured?
The Orc Blade to the west is the most injured of them all. The Chieftain has got a big char mark where that lightning bolt arced across his chest, but he seemed pretty hardy.
Alright.
And of course, the guy right in front of you is in heavy condition as well. So.
Alright, I'm gonna chuck my spear at the west dude then.
Your spear, your
Oh shit, I can't do unarmed. Okay, so never mind. I'm just gonna fucking attack this guy.
So you've got your sunbolts, if that's what you were talking about.
No, I can't do those unless I do.
You have to do those first to be able to do those as a bonus second. Yeah, I always
Yeah.
forget that that's how that works.
Yeah, I mean one of them has to be it. But since I've done 2 melee already.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, we'll just do a couple more hits. I want to.
Wow, that actually hit.
Gonna see if this is a crit. Okay, no, it's still a hit. Okay. As I was gonna reroll one of those ones.
Oh yeah, the ones. Mm-hmm.
All right. Kadoosh. And
The last,
Oh, cool.
so you hit him, and it was like, and you see like a piece spray off to the side. You hit him the second time, and his body. You seen the movie Big Trouble in Little Chinatown?
yeah.
You know at the end where the guy like starts puffing up until he explodes?
Yeah.
Yeah, that pretty much happens.
Huh.
So you hit him the one time, and then like a piece like bursts and like sprays poisonous liquid across the vegetation plants behind him. Then you come around and hit him the last time, and he literally explodes. You're immune to poison. Oops. Oh shit, that's the wrong button. Sorry. Let's do this first. Oh, but you failed anyway. Okay, so yeah, so the spray, the poison spray, like muck, covers Izzy and the two orcs that are beside her.
Oh, I just got this shirt.
Everything failed. That is so crazy. That's very statistically unlikely. It bursts in an explosion of goo. Dead. The Eye of Groomch orc directs its spiritual weapon over to attack Lumo. And it turns with its spear and jams it right into Carv's back. Looking at Lodrin's defensive posture, the other eye sends its spear after Bijou. Obviously, since it was trying to protect it, he wants to cause as much physical and emotional pain as possible. So I'm going to send its spear after her.
How do those spiritual weapons work? I guess they don't invoke. Well, it's not. Didn't leave my threat range anyway. I guess technically.
No, they don't. They're not creatures or objects. I mean, they don't threaten, so they can't be used for flanking. They can't be used for anything like that. And they, like you can stab at them, but they don't. Effectively, they themselves don't take damage. They're not actual physical objects that are hurtable, since they're just radiant energy.
Gotcha.
And he's going to try to poke at you, but miss.
As a reaction for him trying to poke at me, because I think I've had a turn go by.
You have, yes, you have. Ouch. Bzz. 18 poison damage straight to the face. Yeah, now he's significantly wounded. Put him below half. That's in the heavy category. The war chief bursts out of the shrubbery to the north, giving forth his battle cry. He runs up and attacks. Ooh, one hurt. Oh, would have hurt. All your spores absorb the damage.
That's cool.
His extra battle cry attack. So hits for a little bit. Yeah, so that one did hurt just a smidge.
There is such a foggy haze around going into battle right now.
It's like a Snoop Dogg concert right now. Okay.
Of course. I just realized I'm at the bottom of the turn order.
Good, we will survive.
Missed twice again. Oh!
Wait, you
She's
want
so
him to hit her? I mean,
He doesn't get to do his cool abilities unless he hits somebody.
as he don't let him hit you. He has cool abilities.
So, this particular orc is very deft in its attack. Very precise in its sword swing. You can see that it's trained not just in brutish combat, but in some actual martial training of a higher order. And one of its devastating longsword attacks nicks its way through your armor steen and hurts way more than a longsword on its own right should. And following up, it raises the sword upright in front of its face in a somewhat defensive posture, and then barks a single command in Orcish. As soon as it does, all three orcs that are immediately surrounding you immediately all attack in unison.
Great. This is a good day. Hold on. Reaction? Oh, never mind then. Because I missed. This is dope. What did I do to make them angry? So wait, because I have 2 actions, that means I can cast 2 spells, right?
No, you don't have 2 actions.
2 attack actions? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so when you use the attack action, you just get extra attacks as a part of the attack action.
Oh, okay.
So you get 3 total, so you have extra
Yeah.
attack times 2. So when you use the attack action, you get 2 extra attacks in addition to the one you would normally get for the taking attack action.
Okay.
We in turn here. Alright, this one. I'm gonna attack Lumo. Missing twice. It will also give the same Orcish command, and in so doing, Orc 3 will make an attack at Carr. The Eye of Groot will make an attack at Carr, both of which miss. The Red Fang will make an attack at Izzy.
Let's do an uncanny dodge on that one.
Okay. Yep. Get 7 back. And then, after making that stroke, shadowy darkness billows forth from the blade. And this area is plunged into magical darkness.
Huh.
From whose blade? Her blade?
No, from the blade of the Red Fang.
Oh, that asshole.
How does that affect the guiding bolt?
Cancels.
Impact?
Because there'll be an advantage and a disadvantage on it.
Yeah. So like if you go to, he's still there. But yeah, you'd have disadvantage on your attack and advantage cancel each other out.
Okay, so I'm. A lot of things changed since I figured what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still gonna swing at him, I guess, because I still kind of know where he was.
Okay, sure.
I should have hit disadvantage. I'm sorry. I can re-roll that.
Drop the 9, but you have a plus 11? Plus 11, is that right?
On that one, yeah.
You're gonna hit anyway, so.
Okay. But I don't get any.
You would not get sneak attack on him
just
because
be a straight one.
Yeah, because you didn't technically have advantage, and he's next to a friend, so you don't get your
So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm going to disengage.
Okay, use your bonus action to disengage.
I think I can get to there.
Most definitely, yes.
And then that's all my actions.
Use bonus action to disengage. Yeah. While others have, kind of sprung out of the bushes from their hiding places very abruptly and aggressively and moved extremely quickly. This orc slowly kind of clambers out of the brush, surveys and kind of sweeps around looking at what's going on. Okay. It's going to begin casting a spell. Cast Guiding Bolt. And misses. Car, you're up.
Slam my weapon into the ground.
Okay.
Cast Destructive Wave. Sorry.
Okay. Destructive wave.
Says the creatures I choose. It doesn't say 30-foot radius. It says what I choose within 30 feet. It doesn't say I have to see them. I would assume I would have to have seen them at one point. Or not. It's up to you.
I think I'm okay with the locale being the case. Roll me a D100. I need you to roll the save over Lumo as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think it should be like if you could have seen Lumo, like maybe you could have done something to make it to where that effect wouldn't have happened under him. But since it's just a blanket effect,
Yep, I think that's okay.
I have to unselect everyone else and.
No, I mean everybody else, like it's gonna hit everybody that you've already initially targeted, but it'll just hit Lumo as well.
What kind of save is it?
It was a con, but I've already did the save.
Yeah, so Lumo, go ahead and roll a con save. So you succeed. So whatever the damage is, you'll take, what is it, half damage, and not knocked prone.
Sure, the benevolent Lord Lumo will forgive you.
17. To Lumo. Wow, okay, so that wrecks lots of things.
Nice.
So, like, you slam your weapon into the ground, and then this radiant eruption, thunderous cacophony comes from up underneath all these different creatures in turn, each one sounding off, getting thrown into the air. Was this one? This one? That one, so both red fangs are dead. Also removes this. Unnatural darkness dissipates. Yes, and then amongst those that did survive, they are definitely looking rough. Bijou.
So I spin around on my heel because something hit me from behind.
There's just a little floating, glowing, radiant energy that's kind of wisping around behind you in the shape of a spear.
Right.
A couple of these got knocked prone, so I'll have to make sure that I keep track of that later.
All right, I'm going to use guiding bolt to hit this guy, but I'm going to use it at a higher level.
Okay, sure. Which one are you going for?
The guy, I have Grimace 32. I got it done.
32. Okay.
looks like both of the ones that failed got knocked prone died anyway.
Oh. They are permanent prone. Ooh, shoot. And so was this guy. I think that's Exacxes.
Nice.
That was Exacxes.
So does that sword go away then?
Make sure which one is. Not actually a concentration spell. It still floats there for a minute. It just kind of stops wisping around. So it's there. It just doesn't. It just stops moving. So this guy's gonna be like, "Whoa, things are happening, and they suck." So this dude with 2 shields, I'm tired of attacking him. So he's gonna risk charging over and running after Bijou, which would provoke an attack of opportunity from someone who's in my room instead of in theirs.
No room, no room, no room. I thought there was plenty of room.
Or an
So
opportunity attack.
when Wolfen left the GM's sphere, he gets another attack of opportunity from the GM.
Well, I think I'm
Smite.
gonna use
Dangerous.
I think I'm gonna use lightning lure on keep from getting away.
Nice.
Okay, sweet, yeah. 13, just kind of try to spin move around you and then take off charging after Bijou after she casts that spell that killed the Eye of Groom. So try with the lightning lure then.
Whoops. Oh wait, yep, that's the right one. Okay. He's seriously. Oh.
Ouch, yep, versus D15 versus. They have a little bit of plus being a strength save and there being orcs having a little natural strength to them.
Yeah.
So the lightning lure lashes
Right.
around him, and you can see that it slows him down as he struggles against it, but his natural strength bursts through, causing the lure to dissipate as he makes the final step to Bijou. But stumbles and automatically misses.
Bijou smiles at him.
Whoa. Miss.
Where's Capricious?
He is actually right beside you. Combat tracker. In fact, I didn't actually have him do the last thing. Got caught up with something else. Supposed to go after Izzy this round.
Spoiler: Capricious is an orc.
Did that have symbiotic damage?
Yep, 1d6.
Oh, just rolled a 1. Oh, boo. Okay. Surprised.
Still saying potions are bonus actions, right?
That's right. That's correct. To use on yourself. It's an action to use on someone else. Ooh, okay. That's a good one. So I'll go ahead and interject with Capricious's action since he was supposed to go right after Izzy. And so he dictates the 5 remaining mercenaries. The thugs died immediately. The guys with the nice shiny armor, it was very obvious when they charged in but they had never actually been trained or actually ever really had to use them. Someone bought them, or they stole some nice shiny armor, and they've been using it to their look of intimidation to be their one actual skill. They died. They're dead. But the old grizzled veterans. The old grizzled veterans. Not on as quick on the uptake, but here they come charging in after the war chief next to Lumo over there. Okay, so maybe a couple of those are a little too old to be fighting. Holy cow. I rolled a 2, 3, 4 with the first 3, and then 10, 17. Okay, so we got 2 hits in.
Old people burning, old people burning.
Hey, they got a pretty significant 18 points of damage to the war chief. Whose turn it is? He's gonna make his 3 attacks against mercenaries. And they 3 up, 3 down. They have 15 hit points. He did 16, 20, and 16 points of damage. So the 3 that rolled 2, 3, and 4 are now dead. We have 2 mercenaries remain.
Poor bastards.
This one is also going to come charging around, trying its best to go wide of Lodrin to get around and go straight for Bijou and Capricious. Actually, he's going to attack Capricious. Ooh, he hits. No, but Capricious takes 4. He's fine. He's going to take 2 steps forward and blow himself up.
Gross.
Just explode, spraying viscous fluid across everything nearby. Hey, Capricious save, so he takes 4, so he's taking 8. He's okay. That guy exploded.
Damn. My evil plan just got foiled. That one guy died. Literally. Foiled. How dare you?
Like 10 foil?
Yeah, it fell apart just like it.
As he's covered in goo and he's starting to kind of like wipe some of it off of his cloak, he's going to use his reaction to shoot a spore cloud at the war chief in front of him.
Okay, yes. Unleash like the haze of mist that already surrounds you. These war chiefs are pretty hardy. even emboldened by all this other nonsense that has gooed all over it, it seems unfazed. He continues to stare you down with the big, broad great axe, ready to chop this next tree right in front of him. Steen, what are we doing?
I'm gonna charge this guy and try to body check him away from Biju.
Okay. Okay, so the blade's gonna try to make an attack against you as you go away.
Yep.
Not even close to close.
Choo choo. Where can't find anything I'm looking for. Oh yeah. Oh.
So you're gonna try to shove him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Use one of your attacks to try to shove the orc. Okay, let me grab one of the regular orcs. They're not proficient in athletics. That's strange. It's not very proficient in things. And you succeed.
Yay!
Push him 5-10 feet away. Knocked him away. Okay, that's one attack. You have 2 left.
Attack this guy
Okay.
with Green Flame Blade. Wait.
No,
No.
can't do that.
Use that. Yep.
Yep.
No. Oh, smash.
Sufficient.
Yay!
He was quite weak after his huge embarrassing failure. He was morally crushed by it.
Oh, I feel bad. Hey! Welcome to Bare Minimum D&D, everybody.
As it turns out, the regular orcs, not all too strong, but a big great axe can still do damage.
That was 1, 2, 3. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Lumo starts us off again.
I'm at 0.
Literally arts. Oh man, dude. How many ones are you gonna roll on initiative across the course of this campaign? Like, I'm pretty sure the distribution is just fucked.
I'm helping everybody else remain from being there. They just can't be there because I am.
Someday from now, when we fight Paylor, all of those rolls are going to come back, and he's going to roll like a 200.
Then Paylor's going to say nope and then make it a 0.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to. You had the. Roll a d20 off to the side, Izzy, for that. Let's see if that changes your locale.
D20 on the side.
Yeah, just toss it over there. We'll see. I'll move you up after Lumo. Do we have a stunner? We have a stone cold stunner. And then a radiant sunbolt. They went up to 2d8s. Or were they 2d8s originally? So double the dice, right? They're up to. That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Okay. Awesome. We actually hadn't done much combat lately, so what do we do again? especially with all of our new toys. Hey, we got the orc blade.
I'll move over by Logan. Flank his buddy.
Okay.
Is that spiritual weapon a concentration spell or no?
It is not, no. But they do have to perform an action to command it to do anything. So if they can't perform actions, then they can't do dick all with it.
I don't think you can perform actions anymore.
No, doesn't seem like it. We're making some pretty strong headway.
I'm gonna dive back into the bush and hide.
Ah, okay. Minimum 19.
Yep.
Okay, excellent. Okay, who does he not like here? One or two? No, he's gonna stay chopping down this tree in front of him. Battle cry gives him advantage on the first one. Both suck. One hit, and then his battle cries out, so he doesn't get his third. He doesn't get a third attack anymore. Okay. Cards it.
I have to try to booming blade someone.
Yes.
He's closest.
I definitely support that. No! No!
Fucking shit ass shit!
The goddess
Sorry,
of
not close enough.
the goddess of luck does not is not amused by your efforts in this world.
Izzy hears
I'm
a
excited because I'm going to get a crit next turn.
Izzy hears a bit of Kragan profanity.
She is paying very close attention. Learn all the swear words.
That is some straight up shit ass shit.
Oh, wait a minute. He's gonna walk over and touch his companion. At his touch, you can see that the chieftain flares with strength and energy, revitalized.
Huh.
He casts Cure Wounds at a not first level.
Actually, sounds like a pretty good idea.
Hey, buddy.
So I'll add 3 to that. Spellcasting modifier.
Wisdom for you? Yep. You have 16 wisdom?
Yeah.
Not the greatest of rolls. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
In between you two's turn, Capricious will direct the 2 remaining mercenaries to both hit the goblin. See, these are the creme de la creme of shitty mercenaries. Yeah, max damage 22. 22. Oh, come on! It only 6, or is it supposed to be +8? Let me check. Let me check. Oh, with 1 hit point left is said orc chieftain. I think Capricious is going to try some vicious mockery.
Yes.
And trip. Wisdom saving throw from a chieftain. Oh, massive failure. Massive failure.
He must have talked about his mama.
He just got shamed to death.
Literally shamed to death.
This is where we're gonna learn all the insults that Bijou gets.
It is Bijou's turn.
Guiding bolt level 3 again.
He insulted him in Orcish. Ooh, snap. No, that is some not as good a roll as it could have been. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay. What do we got going on here? This guy's got some martial skills, so he's going to use his advantage here to come after Lumo. Wielding his long sword in 2 hands that seems to cut in ways that no long sword should. Oh, and a miss.
It's my turn. Yeah. Alright. You gonna save Luma? Yeah. Luma's turn to get saved. Oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to kill this guy right away. Charge! Alright, alright. Want to try to show my way?
As I say, none of them are in any are really all that damaged. Just the war chief was, but he got that big heal, which kind of rectified a bunch of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're going after which one? The
The one behind
Blade
me.
Master? There's the
Yeah,
Blade?
the blade dude. Yeah.
Oh, natural 20.
Ugh.
Yeah, you come at him and try to push him, and he just literally just like very deftly swifts this long sword around, kind of checking your forward progress and just and effectively parrying your charge, directing you just kind of off to the side.
Well, I don't like that. I'm going to retaliate.
Plant your feet, dong,
Yeah, yeah.
backhanded swipe.
I mean, my weapon doesn't do any damage, but I'm strong enough to help it out. Correct.
Blunt trauma to the dome.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
hockey
Car,
player.
you're at the bottom. Your turn.
So we're gonna dash to there.
Yep. Can do attitude.
And do a bit of a stabby stab with Lumo on the other side, so that should be advantage.
Even you're technically still hidden. Even
Ooh.
jumping out of all that. You were hidden in the brush. I think you took your bonus action. Yeah, you took your bonus action to hide in
I
the
did.
brush. Yeah, he did not. As it turns out, he did not see you. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a hit. I thought it said 20 for a second, and I was super excited.
That would have been cool.
Oh.
That's a lot of ones. Okay. Still though. I think that's all my things.
Whoops. Let's see.
No,
Accidentally.
that's fine. I was done.
He's gonna turn. No. Guiding bolt is still a ranged attack.
He wasn't concentrating on anything, was he?
He was not. No. Your attack is going to enrage the orc. You can see frothing at the mouth, this crazed look of heavy adrenaline as he roars and effectively kind of tries to leap directly on top of you. He has no weapons in hands, but you can see that his claws are, his nails are actually kind of sharpened to points like claws. They are like nails, but they're long and sharpened, and he's going to just start aggressively swinging like a maniac at you to try to cut you with these claws. Since he's at less than half health, he goes into his fury, which is this. That could have been worse. Two of which connect for
I was ready with my uncanny dodge, but I'm like, nah, I'll just take it.
And Luma.
I'm going to bonus action. What the fuck's it called? It's not patient defense.
Are you dashless? Let's see. The one that lets you disengage.
Oh, do you not get one of those? Maybe it's just dodging.
There's one that lets you dodge. There's one that lets you dash. Step of the wind lets you dash. What effect are you trying to mimic?
I was trying for a disengage, but if I don't have it, then I'll just do the dodge thing.
Okay. Okay, so you're gonna use your patient defense to get the dodge action. The
So all
bonus
three of
action?
those, yeah, all three of those can do a thing on me if they want.
All three would. Okay. Reactions.
Oh, sorry, I haven't put my dodge on.
Oh yeah. So it's a disadvantage kind of. That one would miss then.
There, I put it on now.
Okay, and then the last one. Does it do its thing? Okay. Yep. Oh wow. Yep. So, no ill repercussions come from that.
Okay, just because I want to. We're going big.
Okay, 3 key. Is this your radiant fireball? Your radiant mushroom
Yep.
cloud?
Yeah, and this will probably hit Wolfen too.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you. Don't appreciate this. I don't tan well.
You're from the desert, you're fine. What do we got here?
Okay, just
2 failures, 2 successes.
I think
Is it half damage or 0 damage?
0.
Oh, it is 0? Okay.
just gonna sting a little bit
Ouch.
as I'm trying to read to see if I have a way out of that.
Radiant. Your other campaign, you have that cloak that absorbs elements, but I don't think you have your reaction for that. Wait, do you have a reaction for elemental damage? I don't think it includes radiant, though. I'm not sure. You can check that out. Resist energy, or
I thought it was only deck saves.
oh, it could also be only dex saves too. Yeah.
Anyone behind me? No.
I was looking at your. I was thinking about your spells.
That's a lot of damage to do a friendly teammate.
I was really banking on your con saves. I thought you'd be higher than that.
Yeah, if I rolled higher than probably like a 9 with my dice.
You rolled a natural
Or
1.
1.
You rolled a natural
You
1.
rolled a
Yeah.
1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you could. Are you within range to?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Damn.
I rolled a natural 1. Still got a 9. Just saying.
I mean, if I positioned myself differently, I could have been, but not a big deal.
Yeah, absorb elements is the reaction spell, but it does not include radiant. Like,
Nice.
ooh, see that one? That one's got the better damage dice.
Still during Bijou's turn before my turn. I'd like to do a reaction.
Oh yeah, burn it, burn him, nuke it, daughter.
Oh, the stupid button. Okay, now it's my turn. I do not have advantage on the attack because Stina's 2 for south, I think, right?
Yeah, but if you took one step, you could move to a point where that would allow it if you so chose. Yep.
Like, hata.
Yep. That wouldn't incur any kind of attacks or anything like that. Ooh, there we go. That's a little better. Come on, dice work better for you on the damage rolls. Your reaction is back, though.
Yeah, and so after he moves in with his staff for an attack, he's going to attempt to just reach a hand over and grab that orc by the back of the head and just like get up in his face and breathe right directly in his face.
Cloud billows out.
Drunk coffee in his face.
Now he will pop back up with 1 hit point.
But on your turn, on your side.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
creepy.
Like the drink, but not spelt the same.
Excellent. Yes.
So as Lodrin like breathes like a greenish smoke into the other guy's mouth, he falls over and he just like a hacking coughing fit, and then he makes a groan, falls over on his side, and he lays there for just a few seconds and then slowly kind of shambles back up. His movement's kind of jerky and weird looking.
How would you direct him?
He's gonna make a wild swing at the orc claw Luthic.
Okay, he's going for the Luther. It's a new day, it's a new life. So I think that charges his battle cry. He's gonna get angry. And he's gonna
Don't
give.
get angry.
He's gonna Hulk out. He's hulking out. He's gonna give Izzy advantage on her next attack. He's gonna give himself advantage on his next attack. And then he's gonna give Lodrin advantage on his next attack. So those are all the people in front of him as he goes to attack the Luthic.
Appreciate assistance.
He's gonna go fucking berserk.
So angry.
Start hacking away, killing the Luthic, and then just continuing to kill the Luthic. He's already dead.
Are you dead yet?
Full on patriot.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Well, might as well finish. But
It's a great scene.
they're not close enough. Wait, I
Sorry.
got this. I got this.
You got
Oh, yeah.
3 attacks. Can you hit twice out of 3 attacks? That's your target.
Debatable. It changed my mind.
Once.
Yes. 1. Yeah. That +8 really helps. Yeah, got him. That's a win.
Got him.
Oh, with advantage. Yeah, it is.
You're gonna knock down the war chief again?
Now I'm just gonna knock down the war chief. No. I'm gonna try to kill him. Yeah, look at that. 412. Booyah.
Poor War Chief zombie.
Did he look like a zombie? Like, is that something that Izzy would recognize as a zombie?
That's tough to say because it looked probably from the outside more like he just plopped down. Like the herky jerky movements, maybe a little weird going on. Does he actually say it comes back as an actual zombie, or does it say is it more like a spore-controlled symbiotic marionette?
That's
All
zombie.
all I can say is consistency. All right, three rolls for damage in a row. Yeah.
Oh, it's an actual zombie. Yep. Especially since it got knocked right back down again. Still tough to say, but mechanically speaking, yes, zombie. Could have been maybe more like frog legs jumping in a pan. You know?
If it's something that Izzy would recognize as a zombie, she's looking at Lodrin just absolutely horrified.
Odin's not paying any attention to her. He's nursing his shoulder or his spear wound.
I'm just trying to get rid of my sunburn.
There's nothing left, right?
No, yeah.
I just
That is-
aloe vera.
Steen's like got the cartoon like charred look about him.
Blink, blink. Like he's total black, and then his eyes are just super bright white as he's just blinking.
Mm-hmm.
I'd booming blade this tree, but I don't want to piss Lodrin off.
Easy
Timber.
now, Trigger.
What did you do to him?
Me? Oh, I didn't do anything.
And what was that? He looked like he should have died, and then
Oh, he most certainly died.
so what was that?
We all have our place in the great circle. We live, we die, we can live again. Eventually, we will all die again.
Was that one alive or not alive? Because that looked a lot like some of the zombies that we saw with the necromancer.
We all have our part and our powers that we use to protect ourselves and further our endeavors. Since I have come back from, well, death, I find myself with different abilities and powers.
And one of those is puppeting corpses?
I'm going to find that very difficult to explain. He's going to hold out his arm and kind of open his hand and offer it to you. You can see a few mites and a flea or two, maybe even a mosquito lagging around there. all of these tiniest little creatures feed and gain nourishment from me and you and other things. Much in the same way plants, mushrooms, spores, all the tiny little things living, breathing. Given time or given power and direction, they can take over and control things.
And that's what that was?
Yes.
She's still looking at you a little oddly, but she kind of just nods kind of curtly and turns her attention to wiping the blood off her weapon and stuff.
So Capricious, you said they got together?
You did what now? Sorry.
Okay. He had said at the beginning of the fight that they had banded together.
Oh, yeah, so I was like, what are you talking? I was like, what banded together? I was like, oh yeah,
The
these are
orcs.
my own words. Oh, Jesus. Yes.
I was listening.
I saw in turn many clans of orc, all gathered under a single chieftain, attacked us. The unmistakable look of those from Grumsh.
So did we get all of them that are here close?
It's hard to say. But I spotted at least 5 different clans, each in turn led by a leader. Single leader, leading many from different clans. You see, each of these clans, they each kind of have their own religion. This step is very astutely followed by said clan. They think of the others as heathens, outsiders. Sometimes the clans will work together for a common goal, but will immediately return to bickering and fighting. But never together intermixed.
I was just going to investigate the bodies, looking for anything really, but seeing if there's any singular religious items, anything that's shared between the different ones.
Okay, let me write that down because I'm going to have to get back to you. I think we're going to probably end right around here after conversation, but let me write down the investigation so I can.
Okay.
Make something
Yeah, it's
for
no
that.
problem. It's about food time anyway.
I mean, I could probably start getting on all my homework that's due by next weekend. I think I've done like 20 something hours of homework this week. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't hurt to get a head start.
Maybe more.
Welcome to engineering.
Don't be a
Also-
fool. Take your
also-
drugs, do your vitamins, lift your
Also-
homework.
Also spend 30 hours on campus. Ugh. It's not too bad though.
It's almost like you're a full-time student.
Weird.
Fuck, I worked less during a real job.
Why don't we go ahead and cut the stream, and we can come back to this. We'll actually pick up the both investigation and the rest of the conversation at the start of next session. Give us somewhere to start before we wade further into the jungle.
Sounds good to me. It's 91 degrees in my computer room.
Fuck that.